Hello, good evening, a happy Tuesday to you. My name is YAA'S and I welcome you to Auntie Ya's Book Corner. It's Tuesday evening, so we are doing Refreshing for My Weary Soul, which is my third book that you saw in the video clip there. It's a devotional and I come and share highlights from it every Tuesday evening. So permit me to finish sharing and then we'll come and continue. So I hope you had a good day. I was kind of out of sorts today, but just feeling a little better now. So I was going to cancel, but just thought, hey, you know what? Just come and do it anyway. Because don't put off whatever you can do today, do it. Don't put it off until another day. So that's what that is. So, yes. Yes, so there we go. All right. So I hope your day was good. Hello, Pastor P. Welcome, Oakwaba. There's one thing I forgot to do. Let me just do that and we'll get started. I need to throw the book links into the chat. Okay. I'm looking for my book links. So, how is everybody doing? Okay, well, let's carry on. We'll get to that. Hello, Ajodo. Welcome. Good evening to you again. So today, this is what we're talking about. We are talking about how deep is your love? Where did I put it? I guess I'm not as organized as I thought as I was. So here it is. How deep is your love? And so it's based on John 13:1. It's just the one little scripture, but it spoke something to me. So I'll just read it and then we'll get to the highlights from the book. So I say now before the feast of, the Bible says, now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come, that he should depart from this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. So it says he loved them to the end. That prompted me to ask the question, how deep is your love? How deeply do we as humans love? So we'll start chatting. So the question that I ask is, what is love? And what I got, my friend Google tells me that love is a set of emotions and behaviors characterized by intimacy, passion, and commitment. It involves care, closeness, protectiveness, attraction, affection, and trust. But let's go back to that statement. You know, when I mention this banner, where is it again? How deep is your love? It reminded me of, like, this is what I say. Back in the day when I was growing up, when music was music, not the noise that we have these days, you know, the Bee Gees, they had a song called How Deep Is Your Love? So that's why I titled this, you know, Jesus loved to the end, but do we humans, do we even understand what love means? And do we love to the end? At best, I would say that our love is fickle. Hello, Amajo Akwaba. So then I go on to ask, you know, loving our children, relatives, friends, like, you know, the relationships that we have, that is what makes our lives very meaningful. So when we say love, there's all kinds of love. There's different types of love. We all know what they are. Some of us do, some may not. Eros is the romantic, passionate love. Yeah, it seems that is what most of us are focusing of and dying for. Yeah, women just dying for, yes, okay. And then philia. When you say philia, for me, I think of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. So it says philia is the kind of friendship love. Mhm. And then when they say storge, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, STORGE is familiar, like love for parents and parents for children. Okay. And agape is the love of God for mankind. That one is the purest form of love. I don't know that any of us humans can say that we have the agape love. I don't know. Maybe show me the person yet. So Ajua says, my love is unlimited and my heart is pure. Love is not selfish. Love is not envious, greedy, jealous, or any type of negativities. That is exactly correct. But so where it says Jesus loved his own and he loved them to the end. Are we capable of loving deeply? So I go back, I backtrack because for me, this is, if you ask me what my greatest revelation, maybe I shouldn't put it that way, but I like to make jokes. What my greatest revelations has been in the year 2021, it's just being able to say that, the Bible tells us that love your neighbor as yourself, but we only just go as far as loving our neighbor and we forget ourselves. So maybe if we were very committed or more committed to loving ourselves, then we'll be loving people that much more deeply. But the thing too is that right now, the world as it is, everybody has become wise. We're all shining our eyes, as they say, because it seems like wickedness abounds. So nobody wants to be taken advantage of or made a fool of. So we are walking very circumspectly. Just say you are walking wisely because you don't want to be fooled by anybody. And then to sometimes we've gone through different hurts. People have disappointed us. People have hurt us. So we carry it into our new relationships. And then the people that we've met in the new relationship, they are suffering because we're hung up on the betrayals that we suffered in the past. So these are some of the things that stop us from loving very deeply. So in the book, I talk about, that Jesus loved, like he was consistent, right? So if we're contrasting his love with ours, well, our love, dear, it's flaky. Like I said, it's fickle, it's flaky. So we can love for a season. A man will love a woman for a season, or a woman will love a man for a season. Oh, she went there. They said the guy has money. As soon as hardships hit, oh, she's gone to the next green pasture. So when everything is good, you have many, many friends. As soon as poverty comes, your friends disappear. So a rich man will always have friends. And so you think that you see these people and they are jumping about, jubilating, having these big parties, and you go, wow, you kind of wonder who the real friends are of that individual and who the phony ones are. So, you think you're having a great time, but I bet you if you are to ask some of those people, they'll tell you that it's very, very lonely because when you are in a good place, you are rich or whatever, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to, what do you call it? To determine, right? To know that people love you for who you are. So, we've heard many of these movies or stories where you see either a lady or a guy pretending to be somebody they are not, pretending to be somebody so poor, and see how they can attract love. And so, whoever they find who meets them as they are, then they start connecting with them, and then in due course they reveal that, hey, this is who I really am. And I saw that when you saw that I was down and out, you still loved me. So I feel that I can trust you and we can build something together. I'm sure many of us have watched programs or movies or whatever like that. Ajua says, Sister Yake says you have touched my topic tonight, and I'm foxy to type. Fox, okay. I asked him to come and write his own and leave me to express myself. Like, oh, Brake, please come, okay? Come. Ajua says, oh, the love for my children is infinite. I could tell, but for the rest, no, I can't tell. I'm overly protective of my heart. Yes, I appreciate what you're saying. That is true. That is true. Because, it's sometimes, even on Facebook, social media, we see these good news stories or sharing is caring types, and somebody's done some good deed, and everybody's like, oh, wow, how great. And we all seem so fascinated by it. And yet, when you think about it, that is how human nature is supposed to be. But because of all the wickedness in the world, the wickedness around us, when we see those things, we become so surprised. And some of us, we've given and given and given and given to people, and we've been crushed so much that we are so careful. Like we've been foolish before, very foolish before, and now we woke up. But because we woke up and we're being so careful, mankind is losing out, because maybe we could be out there 100% expressing our love, but because of the hurts and what have you, we become very, very quiet. Love is an amazing and incredibly unique feeling that comes from within. Yes, but Ajua, you know something? Yeah, Amajo is agreeing with me. Ajua, you know something? The thing about it is, sometimes you can give love to people who might not even appreciate it. That is very, very hurtful and can be very sad. But when you give it, it's that, you give and you receive. It's so beautiful. And I'm not even just talking about the man to woman love, just in any situation, any relationship situation that you are in, and you are able to do that. It is so beautiful to watch. And because of the way life has become these days, I would like to put it that we seem to have lost our humanity. So we need to go back to that. Like for me, the point about it is that if you do good, continue to do it. Don't stop who you are. I remember in one scenario at work a long time ago, I had a manager and something happened, you know, Amajo, people like me, I can't pretend to love. I'm bold to say, yeah. Well, no, the thing is, if you can't, you can't, right? But it's not to say that you are hating anybody. It's just that maybe you are valuing the love that you give. You're not just going to throw it out there for it to be trampled on. Like we are told in the Bible, do not cast your pearl before swine. There are some people, anything you do for them, they'll never appreciate it. You'll never get any thank you. You'll never get any what you call it, them reciprocating. So all I can say to that is that you got to advise yourself. Just advise yourself. Yes. But when people know and understand each other, and it's the back and forth, it's just beautiful. So I'm just here to say that we have to keep that, because without love, we're lost. Really, in this world, think about it. This is just a four-letter word, a four-letter word. A lot of what is going on in the world hinges on that. If man would love their fellow human being, do you think would have all the wars that we are seeing around? Look at all these people, our people fighting and bitching on social media. If they had love, would they be doing all these things? So we have a lot to ask ourselves. So yeah, I mentioned too that we're kind of stingy with love. We pick and choose who we want to love, or I don't know. Again, I go back to the heads or what you have seen, what you have encountered. That is what makes you react the way that you do. But Jesus loved to the end. I've said some of these points already, but I'll go over it. I said, how do we love as humans? We are stingy. We are stingy. We are selfish. There's stinginess, even in families. Some people are loved more than others. It's just a natural human dynamic. We are selfish with our love. We are unwilling to help others. And our love is flaky. It's not constant. These days, even in the marriage relationship, you ask yourself that, do people even understand what love is? You know, do people understand what love is? Yes. Let me read some comments. Hello, Miss Sage. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. So Ajua says the worst feeling when you love someone and the person does not reciprocate your love. Conditional love is the most common practice within our society. Thank you for putting it out there. Conditional love is what we do. It's true. And because, if you love me, I love you. If you don't love me, well, you can go wherever, right? And we put conditions on our love, but Jesus's love was unconditional and it was constant, not flaky. And Amajo says, that's me, or I choose pa. You choose who you want to love. Yeah, So I don't know. It's what are some of the reasons? There's so much, excuse me. There's so much going on with us that we are not where we are supposed to be. If we really understood, just think about it, like the example that I was trying to give. Years ago, I think I started a new job. And, well, if you're like me, I would say any reasonable or any normal human being, you like to do well. So you do your best. And I'm not somebody who believes in doing things shabbily. I mean, there's times you feel like, you relax, but on the whole, you just do your best. So I was getting these weird, like, some vibes that I was picking up from management I wasn't really liking. And I go, okay, whatever, I'm going to not bother. As soon as I said that to myself, I think I tried it once or twice. It didn't feel like me. I said, you know what? Don't go by what people say. Just do what you have to do. You are used to doing things well. Just go back to that. It doesn't matter what they say or whether they are mocking you or whatever it is. And I went back because that's what I know. Because to me, if you, there's a way that people know you, and your reputation has got to be very important to you. So I wasn't going to let human opinion destroy who I was. No. Oh, okay. Let's read some comments. Ajua says, stinginess among our society communities goes above and beyond on the highest level. The pathetic excuses, reasons, and blaming games follow like someone who owns them. I didn't get that part, Ajua. And Pastor P says, love is the highest energy to mankind to revive us, but you cannot give love and not receiving love back. At the end, it will drain you and you will end up being a broken soul. Don't cast your pearl before swine and don't give what is holy to dogs. It is true, because with what Pastor P is saying here, the problem that a lot of us are having is that we're emptying ourselves out and giving to others and forgetting to take care of our own vessels. You need to invest in yourself, take care of yourself, your mind, everything, your soul, like, your body. It's we are a people, because where was I saying this? Oh, yesterday on a different program. This is how we are programmed. Ajua says, do you Okay. Oh, sorry, Shaila. I'm not sure what she was questioning. And Akuya. Hello, Miss Akuya. So I was saying that we have been taught in our society to be other focused. Like I said, love your neighbor as yourself. We are busy loving the neighbor. So everything we are taught this, what's the word that I use? Altruistic. Oh, everything goody goody. We are goody goody two shoes. We do it for everybody. Oh, your mother needs this, you give it. Oh, your aunt over there, they said this, oh, blah, blah. Chum, then you give it. You give to your sister here, you are giving to your brother here, and you are sitting here, you are drained and hollow. When something is going on with you, nobody comes to your rescue. They don't care. So we've been programmed that way. So when you express this feeling of, oh, you are investing in yourself, you are taking care of yourself, you are taking care of your soul, this and that, then you are told you are selfish. You know something? For me, right now, I've learned to disregard that. I've learned to disregard that, because if you are not healthy, you have nothing to give anybody else. You have to give to yourself first. You have to invest in yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, everything. So let me read. I'm going to read through the comments that I have, then we'll take a break and I'll come back. Ajua says, people who normally give excuses, reasons, and always blaming others for their failure tend to act like others owe them. Yes, that is the oh, I don't remember if you were on Sunday, but that's the self-pity people. They are always, the whole world owes them. They are self-absorbed and they are whatever. Woe is me, woe is me. Message says, we love him because he first loved us. John 14:19. Thank you. And Pastor P says, some people, you have to love them from a distance, and that is okay. Protect your precious pearls to save your soul. I love this comment. It is true. You see, a lot of times, because of that word that I use, that altruistic thing that they put on us in the culture, you think you have to save everybody, but you don't have anybody to save you. My friend, save yourself first. You know, when you put boundaries, when you put boundaries, people who were taking you for granted, they start to respect you. You watch. I'm sure you all have stories like that. You put boundaries, then when they are coming, they are very, very careful. So with that, let's go for a break, and we'll continue, and I'll come and wrap up. So we're back, and here they are. This is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul, and this book came out last year, April 2020. You can find it on Friesen Press, Amazon, Google Books, Barnes & Nobles, and iTunes. And then there is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart that came out in March of this year. That you can find on Amazon, Canada, US, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and Innovi Books. Last but not the least is Refreshing for My Weary Soul. This came out last October 12th. And so it's all the books are in very simple, plain English. You can relate to it. This one here especially is a powerful nugget for women. It asks you a bunch of questions, and it's relatable stories. Like, my experiences are just like the experiences that other women have, and people who have read the book said they totally relate. It feels like I was writing their story. So get your copies on Amazon and you will be blessed. So continuing on, How Deep Is Your Love? I wish I could sing the song, but they'll come and tell me copyright, whatever. So anyway, let's go back. So The next thing that I'm going to ask is, why is it so hard for us to love? Let me go back to my page. Like I say, I'm only giving highlights from the book. So for the rest of the story, get your copy on Amazon, okay? And why is it hard for us to love? It's because we don't love ourselves. We don't love ourselves, and I've gone through that. I mean, why don't we love ourselves? When we grow up, we are taught to think about other people more than ourselves, because looking at ourselves means, oh, we are self-centered, we are selfish, we are very self-conscious that way. Have you even noticed that a lot of us, and maybe you might relate to this, it took you a long time to accept compliments from people? Because back home it's like, oh, if you are too focused on yourself, I don't know if it's the nyamesum that has made us that way. Oh, be humble, oh, be this. So if you are showing any sign of being too focused on you, you are viewed as, so as for this person, all they think of is themselves. You can't even accept compliments, right? Because you don't love yourself. You think you are not deserving. Yes. I told this story of when we were at my dad's funeral in 95, and I was seeing, I forget who I was seeing off. So when I was coming back, the guys who were playing the instruments at the program, one of them called me and I looked at them, and then he's made a comment that, oh, sisters, Mohoya Fepa, like talking about me and my sisters. And I laughed and I said, thank you. And I kept walking. When I went back, my sisters and my mom were sitting there and I told the story. My mom looked at me some way, the older generation. I said, but the person spoke the truth. I mean, they said something nice. So what should I say? Deny it, right? That's how we are. Like I said, how do I put it in tree, that or krama hobrasi thing? So all those things is part of the problems that we're having. We don't even know how to speak up because we don't love ourselves. We're afraid to do wrong. We are timid and all that. But when we see, I mean, people from this environment, even little children, and sometimes we agree that it seems a bit much, but they are taught early on, the light shines on them and they are programmed to say, hey, watch it. Even when you go to work and people, uh, if they know a little something, they are so proud of it. It's like how I asked the question that, okay, so when you are watching the Olympics and then they say this country was first, that was second, then they say the Canadian placed 23rd. And I'm like, okay, 23rd, why are you mentioning it? 23 is far away down there. But hey, it's their country. They are proud of it. They have to say, because even the 23, there's people who came after him too. So they are not last. But how I think, that's what I say. So all these things is part of the reason, like we don't love ourselves enough. And sometimes you need to sit down. Even a lot of us, if you ask the question, do you really sit down and look at your life or think about where you have come from or where you have been? Huh. I was in a class last Sunday with Pastor Patience and we were talking about foundations. Boy, it was triggering because you're walking around, you think you're okay, and then you have to think about how you grew up, and some memories come to you and you go, wow, okay. So it became a thing. Okay, yeah, I need to work on it. I need to write it down and it will help me, because that information is going to help me, write it out, help me to write my memoir. So it's good to look at it. So as a person, you need to be invested in always assessing yourself, evaluating, because how can you be better if you are sitting there, Yeah. Ajua says, love grows with understanding, care, self-love, self-value, self-discipline, basically self-everything. Thank you. Pastor Patience says, we don't love others because we really don't understand the essence of loving others. Loving others benefits us more than the person we are giving the love to. Exactly, but we don't understand that. So we come at it selfishly. But when you do something for people, the joy and the pleasure that it brings you, it's the energy that you're getting, it helps you in your body, it does something to you, but we are stingy. So, we cringe and go like this, every time, no, like that too, it's not doing good to your body. Ajua says, many people spend their whole entire life looking for unconditional love, yet they have no love for themselves. Thank you. I'm I'm getting so excited and so happy with the engagement. I've lost track of time and I need to be off before 6. So let's carry on. The second point about why we don't it's hard for us to love is that our hearts are not in the right place. You know, the stinginess, the wickedness, the envy, the jealousy. When somebody is doing well, you're supposed to be happy, rejoice, you know. And we are the people who go to our sorry them and read these things, rejoice with those who are rejoicing. But when something good happens to you, then people's faces change, you know. And then also, our thoughts are not pure towards others. We don't think good thoughts of others. You know, people will smile at you, but they'll be smiling at you, but thinking something else, and you think they are your friends. So, just as many people I read it, spend their whole life looking for unconditional love, yet they have no love for themselves. I think I read that already. Okay, so what does love look like? For me, what does love look like? I picked parts of this from First Corinthians 13. I think Ajua wrote some too at the beginning. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. Love does not dishonor others. And love, it never fails. Amajo says, Ajo Odomensa, yes, although you can't give what you don't have, you know, that's why. Ajo says, it's such a pity. Majority of our people play tic-tac with their partners or others' feelings for their own selfish desires. That is exactly correct. Oh, I appreciate you all coming. I wish I could stay longer, but anyway, the devotional, the passages are very short. And you have to know that what I'm saying here, what I'm talking about is not what is in the book. I just picked highlights from the book. So when you read the book, you'll see what is in there. But basically, this is a good chat on love. So our prayers are that we should learn to love ourselves. We have to work on ourselves. It's a good investment to make. A lot of us, we say, oh, I'm working, I'm a year Juma, kiki, going and coming, 2, 3, 4 jobs, and you are shipping the money to other people who are enjoying, and you are sitting here. You don't even go to the spa to get a massage so that they'll take out your kinks out of you. You won't even drive to Calgary and go and have a holiday, or even, you don't even have to drive to Calgary. I can drive to Amajo's place and say, oh, Amajo, I'm here for the day. Let's go come and show me your town and ride around. Yes, Ajo, I know. Ajo, I know you were just warming up. I forgot. You know, I always have this 6 o'clock date with Ajo. We have to go and watch a program. Yes, I'll be me. It's, you know, that way it's so we have to invest in ourselves. It is okay to do that. Invest in yourself. Sometimes even sit down quietly, meditate, take a break from everybody, sit down quietly, or go sit somewhere, go for some sightseeing, go watch some scenery, or even now, well, it's a bit cold now, but even if you're able to walk around, go to some park somewhere, you see the fall leaves, all that, just things that will lift your spirit up and you go, oh, me, when I turn on the TV and I'm watching, especially on Fridays, I'm watching AGTV and I see those people looking for their homes, Caribbean life, Hawaiian life, Mexican life, beachfront, whatever, and I see those houses and whatever by the sea or people frolicking around the beach, that's enough for me. I just go high up there, like, you know, or even watch a movie that you like, and like anything, learn to take time out and do something for you. Also, learn to love others. Yes, as yourself. That is so important. Learn to love others as yourself. So, check the condition of your heart. It's always good to check the condition of your heart. Sometimes you are sitting there, maybe you're feeling discontented, something is going on inside you. Don't be afraid to look at those feelings. We are so afraid of getting in touch with ourselves. There are people who can never be alone for 5 minutes at home. Everybody's gone out and they can't. Like for me, when the two girls are around and they go out, I'm so happy because I'm like, oh, they are gone out. 3 hours to myself, 2 hours, I'm just around partying or doing whatever I want to do. It's not that when they are here I don't like it, but it's good to have me time, downtime for yourself. So hey, thank you so much. I appreciate, like when I was coming today, I didn't know how this topic would go, but I'm so pleased that Ajo Pastor Patience, Ama Joe, Akuyanima, and whoever else came. And if I didn't see you, I thank you so much for joining me. So we'll be back. I think I may be back on Thursday. Well, Thursday is a holiday. I'm not sure. I'll keep you posted. If I'm back on Thursday, it will be later in the evening. It might be about 7:30 or so, because I have a program. I have a program at 5:30 elsewhere, so it might be later. Ajo, I'm looking at your comment warming up. Tell Ochiami that I didn't see his comment, so he can bring them next time. So if I come on Thursday, I'm sure I will come. We will be talking about change blockers. So I'll leave that with you to go reflect on and come and give me all your feedback about what are the things that block you from embracing change. When I started the year, I was saying change, embrace it, pursue it. So we're going to talk about change blockers. So I thank you all for your support. Oh, Miss Sage, sorry, I forgot to mention you. Thank you for coming. Bless you all, okay? Take care of yourselves. We'll see you hopefully on Thursday. Bye-bye.